Welcome to the Equipped Disciple channel. My name is Rick McClatchy. I will be your host. We are here to be and to make disciples of Jesus, and we do that through daily devos, through Sunday sermons, and through other discipleship resources. We are here to equip you to be an equipped disciple. All right, welcome into another day of your daily devos. I'm Pastor Rick, and we are jumping into the second half of Proverbs chapter 13. Walk with the wise is going to be one of the verses that we focus the most on as we jump in. So without further ado, like and comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're liking these videos, share them with a friend, all that good stuff. It's great. Verse 14, a wise person's instruction is a fountain of life, turning people away from the snares of death. Verse 15, good sense wins favor, but the way of the treacherous never changes. A wise person's instruction is a fountain of life, turning people away from the snares of death. That's how valuable wisdom is not just for the wise person, but for the people that are around the wise person, because their instruction, the thoughts that flow from a wise person's mind are a fountain of life, turning people away from the snares of death. You can actually save people from the folly of their ways when you are wise. So it's not just about, preparing a good life for yourself and choosing the right path for your life, but it actually has a significant impact on other people. Verse 15, good sense wins favor, but the way of the treacherous never changes. So good sense wins favor. That's pretty cool. Verse 16, every sensible person acts knowledgeably, but a fool displays his stupidity. And we're all about being less stupid, right? We talked about that a few days ago. Every sensible person acts knowledgeably, but a fool displays his stupidity. A wicked envoy falls into trouble, but a trustworthy courier brings healing. I love that, trustworthy courier, trustworthy messenger brings healing, whereas a wicked envoy falls into trouble. So I definitely want to be one that brings healing to people. I want to be a trustworthy courier, a trustworthy messenger for the Lord. Amen. That's what we're supposed to be. Verse 18, poverty and disgrace come to those who ignore discipline. Poverty and disgrace. So the last few chapters, we've been reading quite a bit about not hating discipline, loving discipline, listening to correction, all that kind of stuff. And here it just brings it to a head. Poverty and disgrace come to those who ignore discipline, but the one who accepts correction will be honored. So it's just, again, one more, rock on this foundation we're building for why you need to be a person that loves discipline and appreciates and responds to correction. Like we've said, even seeks out correction. Hey, what am I doing? How am I doing? How could I be doing better? Where am I off the mark? Desire fulfilled is sweet to the taste, but to turn from evil is detestable to fools. That's how far gone the fool is even evil, is delightful to them. They actually want to do the evil. So that's the tricky thing, is they're getting to do what they want when they are being that foolish. So we want to set our hearts to be one that is fulfilled by the right things, which direction you point your life. Because if a desire fulfilled is sweet to the taste, then it's something that you're going to want to keep pursuing. So it's not just a matter of, that's why I always say, following Jesus is not about behavior modification, white knuckling it and, putting in the effort to try to act different so you can act right, so you can kind of look like you're following Jesus. It's about having your desires transformed by the power of the Holy Spirit, because so we say a true disciple is someone who follows Jesus, is transformed by Jesus, and is on mission with Jesus. So the behavior part of the puzzle is the last part. I mean, as far as being on mission with Jesus, like actually like going out and doing nice things and preaching the gospel and baptizing people and that kind of thing is the last part. The first part is having your mind and your intellect kind of captured by Jesus enough that you want to be with him, to follow him. And then you have your heart transformed on the second part. So you be with Jesus, you follow Jesus, you be with him, and then you have your heart transformed by him, and then you act different because now you're on mission with him. So then that transforms your desires, which then creates the thing that you end up pursuing. Desire fulfilled is sweet to the taste. It's desirable. It's something you want to do. It's so good. And that's what kind of keeps you coming back, right? Because like, man, that tasted good. I'm going to get some more of that. But to the fool, just to turn from evil is detestable. Like, yuck. That's disgusting, and they want to keep doing it. The one who walks with the wise will become wise, but a companion of fools will suffer harm. Man, I mean, that one pretty much preaches itself. Like I don't have to come in and help a lot with that one. The one who walks with the wise will become wise, but a companion of fools will suffer harm. So pay attention who you're hanging with. Who are you, what homies are you rolling with? Because the ones that you walk with are the ones you will become like. Show me your 5 closest friends and I will tell you all about your future. Nobody needs a crystal ball. None of that kind of stuff, right? You look at the people that you're hanging with. I'm going to tell you the pretty specifically kind of the path that your life is going to take. And it works both directions. It works in the positive and it works in the negative. So just make sure that you take great care on who you are going to spend a majority of your time with. Disaster pursues sinners, but good rewards the righteous. Disaster pursues sinners, but good rewards the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance to his grandchildren, but the sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. So the good man builds stuff up and it's going to leave an inheritance. And, it's not just money. It's not just money. Because, I actually, my wife's father passed away actually before I ever even met him. And it's so crazy the number of times my life has been significantly blessed because people remember him and bless me or bless my kids as a result of them knowing him. So he was a good man and he left an inheritance to his grandchildren because of the mark that he left in this world on people's hearts and in their minds and in their lives to such a degree that they have then passed things on to us, though we never met him. And I think that's an example. Now, it can also be just straight up monetary, like you stored up property and you stored up money and, all that kind of stuff. And you passed it on. And there was so much of it that you're actually able to pass on to your grandchildren. I believe, that's part of it, right? Because just being a good man that is wise, that thinks ahead, that plans ahead, that provides for his family. So there's some of that, but I think more of it is this dynamic of being a good man. It says that you eat the fruit of your mouth. I think that when you are a good man, you are making wise decisions with the words that you're speaking. So you're eating good fruit from your life, and it produces so much fruit that there's an inheritance for your children and then also for your grandchildren. The uncultivated field of the poor yields abundant food, but without justice, it is swept away. The one who will not use the rod hates his son, but the one who loves him disciplines him diligently. A righteous person eats until he is satisfied, but the stomach of the wicked is empty. And so that, man, I'm telling you, even to the point of needs being met and being sustained by food, the righteous person comes out on top because the stomach of the wicked is always empty. There's just such a blessing to choosing righteousness. But let's talk about verse 24 before we wrap up. The one who will not use the rod hates his son, but the one who loves him disciplines him diligently. And so I want to take the second half of the verse to kind of help us understand a little bit more the first part of the verse, because a lot of people would want to use as kind of a proof text for being able to spank your kids, and I'm not saying that spanking your kids is wrong, because I think that if it's done correctly, it actually can do plenty of good, and that's fine. But there's obviously a lot of stuff that has happened in the world that makes spanking like pretty challenging, right? And so what it really, the key here is that the one who loves him disciplines diligently and consistently. And that is the biggest part of the rod. Could be specifically a rod, but it also is just a measurement. The one who will not use the measurement, the consistency, the steadiness of the discipline hates his son. When you won't apply a standard measure, that's really the key of it, is not so much the method, but the consistency, the steadiness, the predictability. Because when you're providing discipline, you're providing the rails, right? The guardrails that they cannot go outside of without reaping kind of a negative harvest. The one who loves him disciplines him diligently. And so it's really the steadiness, the consistency, the predictability even of the discipline that makes the biggest difference. And then I will let you pray about, how, like, the specifics of how you want to discipline your kids. But I think let's not go too far overboard and saying, oh, you gotta use spanking or you don't love your kids. Well, I don't know that that's totally true, right? So it is the consistency, the steadiness, the measurement of the discipline. So with that, a huge, big, hearty God bless you today. Have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow.